Hi there, everybody. It's Mike Ames here. Just a quick the Mike Ames Show pop-up, just because I wanted to talk about the webinar for next week. This is the fastest growing webinar we've ever had. I looked this morning. We only started publicising it yesterday. 91 attendees. So obviously it's quite popular. So I've asked one of the speakers who is going to be my guest next week to come on this pop-up show just to kind of give us a quick heads up on what he's going to talk about. So let me just introduce Mr. Ian Denny. Good morning, Ian.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, Mike.
Great to have you on the pop-up, as it were. So tell me, so this whole kind of LinkedIn thing, what are we going to talk about at the webinar next week?
Well, I think I'm probably going to talk about not just this algorithm change, but an evolution and a change in the direction in which LinkedIn is going. So some things I'm not going to reveal everything because we're still testing them, because you have to be careful with these things. When there's an algorithm change, there's an awful lot of speculation. Some of it isn't true.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, Ian. Not.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that, actually, because there's been a load of stuff actually on LinkedIn itself, on the LinkedIn pages themselves, that actually it says do this. So I've done it. No change. Nothing. It's just, you said to me the other day, didn't you? Said get all these articles. They probably all come from the same single source, which is wrong, or not thought out. So you're going to debunk all of that, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to keep a close eye on things. And the LinkedIn Engineer blog, which everybody can access, has been particularly quiet on the algorithm change. So they're not. They sometimes give a few clues away, but this time I've not seen anything definitive yet. Although I may need to dig deep because it's hard.
I should just say as well. Obviously, we'll do proper introductions at the webinar next week. And by the way, if you want to come on the webinar, if you're watching a recording of this, you can just go to the post. And there's a link. You can just go and click and register. If you're watching this now and you want to register, then there is a comment put there by the delightful Kirsty. Kirsty? It's a bit brummy, that, isn't it? Kirsty. And so she's put that on. You'll find that in the comments as you watch this. So you can click on that link and you can go and register. I'll leave that there for a second. So Ian, you and Pam are, I mean, I hate the term LinkedIn gurus, but I'm going to use it anyway. You are LinkedIn gurus, are you not? And I've been on one of your courses. And I know how much you know. So, yeah, how would you describe yourself, do you think?
Well, really, in a nutshell, I suppose what we're doing is we're showing people how to be themselves online in the correct way. So not your kind of weekend Facebook self with wild partying and all of those kinds of updates. It's how to be kind of the person you would be at a networking event. And that's where LinkedIn has evolved, really. It's becoming more of a networking platform, and the algorithm, as far as I can tell from the clues, is beginning to reflect that. I don't know whether that's deliberate or not, because there's also a slight problem that LinkedIn is a commercial organization. They need to make money. And I think the organic views and coverage that people were getting has been far too generous for too long. And I think that's possible.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It all comes down to the dosh, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So so obviously, I don't want to give too much away for next week. So we're going to explore the algorithm a little bit and just talk about that. But then quickly, we're going to move on to the new world, aren't you? Just to give people a bit of a taster, a bit of a hint as to what we'll be talking about.
In a way, I think it's good news for everybody if you kind of moderate the way you behave online to reflect the way you are in the real world. I mean, just a couple of mini spoilers, but I'm not going to go into depth, are that it's beginning to get closer. So your first degree connections of those you interact with are coming much more closer toward you and vice versa.
Wow.
Really what you should be doing is being a lot more relevant with the people you choose to interact with on LinkedIn.
And I can't wait for you to tell us, you're presumably going to share how we can do that. That's going to be really exciting, actually.
I mean,
look at me. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this as much as the viewers, because we've not talked about this content, have we? So it's going to be great, actually. Is there anything else that you'd like the viewers to kind of think about before next week?
I'll see if I've got some stats ready for next week, and that'll give me some motivation to finish them. But I'm actually doing a fair bit of experimentation.
Oh, wow.
How I believe the algorithm is working. And It appears to be bearing fruit. But really, I think this is great news for everybody, really, in terms of you can probably figure out a way of getting far more returns in less time, and it'll actually be a bit more enjoyable. And it's great for people who don't like real world networking. There's an awful lot of people out there who are better with a screen in front of them, so they don't have to be as spontaneous as you need to be in real life. You can kind of consider your responses and reactions to what's going on. And there is a way of gulping and sort of jumping in at the deep end. And then you find that the water's quite nice. It's quite refreshing.
Wow. Love that metaphor. Well, and of course, for those people that are very comfortable in face-to-face sort of networking events or events, it's the best of both worlds, because they can still do that if they want when we return back to normal. But also they've got this new layer now that they can sit on top. It's brilliant. Okay, yeah. Well, look, this was only going to be a pop-up just to let people know that we're around. Yeah. As I said, if you're watching a recording of this, simply go to the post. There's a link there. If you're watching it live, then you can just click on the post that Kirsty's put. She's put a little link. You can go and register, and then we'll see you next week. So thanks very much for that, Ian, and I look forward to catching you next week.
No problem. Looking forward to it myself.